What's going on, Philadelphia? Hello, everybody. This is Bell and the Birdmen. I am John Barcher, drowning in my T-shirt today, along with the effervescent, beautiful, full-faced Vince Quinn. Vince, how are you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm doing good. For a guy who's talking about swimming in his shirt, you've been talking a lot of shit about being a fat guy and
Hell
fat guy
yeah.
speed. So
Dang
either
right.
put on weight or get rid of the argument, pal, because you're going to lose.
Well, this is triple X, John. This or double X. Sorry, I'm now down to just 1X. So
Oh, okay.
That was an accomplishment in the last 2 years.
Well,
We're getting there.
I'm going to ask a sensitive question.
Oh,
What
good.
do you weigh?
I haven't actually weighed myself in a while, but I was at a point. I think I was popping like 255.
Wow.
It was pretty bad.
I would not have. How
You're
long
way
ago
less
was
than
that?
that.
Yeah.
255, and like I was down to like 223 or something like that.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
last time, and that was months ago. So I have no idea.
How tall are you?
6 foot flat on the dot.
Okay.
No halves, no nothing. So
Yeah, 5'11" for me, although it says 5'9" on my driver's license. And because this was great. I went to
truth
get my,
is coming out.
I went to get my license and I was like 16, So
Yeah.
this woman stands up at the desk and she goes, "I'm 5'11". You're not 5'11". And she just puts me at 5'9".
You're 5'9".
Yeah, it was like, okay, I guess I'm 5'9" now. There we go. But right now, like I'm under 190. I
nice.
just weighed myself yesterday. It was a big mark getting under 190 because I'm working out all the time and I'm running and I'm going to smoke you for those reasons.
Yeah.
So
A lot of
I'm
good,
looking good.
suggestions in the Discord, too. We really appreciate that. Join us there, bellandthebirdmen.com. The invite is there. Fun and games with John versus Vince this summer. Besides the 50-yard dash that we're trying to, kick Vince's ass in, we welcome all of your thoughts and opinions on what we should be doing. I don't know why Vince Quinn cares so much that little Julian, little cute Julian Lurie got a little position with the Philadelphia Eagles like we didn't know that was coming. But congratulations to Bo Wolf nonetheless for the scoop on what was his official title.
Yeah, hold on. Let's make sure we get this
Something-
right because I don't want to disrespect the man who's welcome on the show anytime.
Yeah.
Julian Lurie, business and football operations strategy.
So as you said, owner.
Owner.
Right? I mean, that's just, I'm going to hang out in the owner's department and, no disrespect to Bo whatsoever because he's a fantastic writer. He's one of my favorites. But the article was essentially, hey, you got this new position, and here's everything that Jeffrey Lurie said in March. That was it. That's basically all the information we learned. So, Vince Quinn, why on God's green earth are you so excited about this?
Why would you not be excited about this? It's the right way. This is
nepotism.
Yes.
Nepotism.
Yeah,
So
look,
fat
yes.
shaming and nepotism is the way. Got it.
Generally, I hate nepotism, but it's a reality of the situation. So if I'm going to live in a world of nepotism, I at least want to see the guy take it seriously. Like, he's taking it seriously. He cares about this stuff. I don't know why you laugh and chuckle at this as if you didn't talk. What was this, like 2 months ago? We had a whole conversation where you go, Jeffrey Lurie's coming in and making draft picks. I don't care. He's the owner. He's got the right to do it. Well,
Right.
don't you want a guy that spends however many years until Lurie gives it up? Don't you want a guy that's around all this stuff, sees everything, sees the coaching interviews, works on all that behind the scenes, and then gets the right to do that when he's ready?
I don't want Julian Lurie picking anybody either. So, but I know he's going to do it. So I don't care. I don't care that he cares. Of course he cares. Dude, this guy has gotten... I mean, do you know how many people struggle in the NFL just to become an area scout to make some 80 grand a year, 100 grand a year, or whatever it is? And this kid has a dad as a fucking owner, and like, what? Why would I be excited for that? Congratulations, the money's gonna stay in the family, Julian. What do you want me to do, Vince? Like,
Yes,
yeah.
you want a guy that cares. You want a guy that knows what he's doing, that's trying to make the most of the situation. Like, what are all these guys that own the team? They're all billionaires, right? All of them, sure. Now they get it in different ways, and some of them are billionaires because, yes, their parents made money doing something else. They became a billionaire, and they bought in on a football franchise. Right. It doesn't mean, and being good at business does not mean you're good at running a football team. It is a very specific thing to do, owning any sports team. Mikhail Prokhorov came in, bought the Brooklyn Nets, big oil magnate. What does he do? He fucks the whole thing up royally and holds them back for a decade. I mean, really, it took them a long time.
There is no tangible evidence that Julian Lurie won't do the same exact thing. So that's why I don't understand how, like, this feels like, speaking of your Star Wars shirt, which apparently it's so bad, you have to buy a T-shirt.
Well, I got to find a good Star Trek shirt, but the Star Wars shirt is very nice. If you're on YouTube, tell me the shirt's great. You're welcome.
I'm just, like, this sounds like you're rooting for the Empire. This sounds like
yes!
I can't wait for a family to make more money and care. Do you think, like, if I presented this argument to Cowboys fans and was like, hey, guess what? You know how much that your owner cares? Well, his son, also that's rich, cares as well, and you should be excited that you have a football family that cares about your franchise or whatever it is.
Yes.
I don't care. I don't care what he does as long as they're not screwing up the fan base or overcharging us or doing whatever. Outside of that, I couldn't be less excited about this news.
That's crazy to me. It's the owner. It is the fundamental most important person in an organization. You need an owner that knows what they're doing, that gives a shit about the team, actually wants to win, and isn't too much in the way.
Man, oh man,
how many
Taylor, help me out.
Come on, are you telling me that certain owners don't own a team and have no interest other than making bank?
All of them want to make bank, full stop. The best way to make bank is to win championships, full stop. That's pretty much it. So you can care about it, but it doesn't make you a better franchise. Mark Cuban cares about sports. The Dallas Mavericks have one championship, but he's also a good businessman on top of that. So yeah, like, that's the ultimate owner I think we all kind of pine for as any sports fan. But outside of that, no sports owner is that unique. They're rich. They need to place assets somewhere. They need to dump a bunch of money, and thus why Josh Harris and the Philadelphia 76ers exist.
James Dolan's unique.
What's that?
James Dolan's unique.
Very unique. Yeah. And also a douchebag. So, like, all of that is in common, too. Like, as much as I appreciate Jeffrey Lurie caring, giving this city a Super Bowl, he doesn't give a shit about me. He doesn't give a shit about you. He doesn't give a shit about Taylor. He doesn't give a shit about half of the causes that he probably puts out there. That is all what a good CEO does to show that the corporation cares in some regard or another. That is always how I will view it. And the Philadelphia Eagles were here long before they got here. They have done a great job of holding the torch. I would say that full-heartedly. But to get excited about, like, it's going to stay in the family, I couldn't give a shit because
it does.
This guy could sell, like you said, to completely mismanage this thing. Fire Howie Roseman because it's what the fans want. Turn this into like a Julius Caesar moment. Like, yes, he's going to, like,
Julian Caesar.
The Julian Caesar. There you go. Oh, my God. It writes itself. So, for instance, across the street, I couldn't care about the Phillies at all. I know you don't either. But John Middleton cares, and he runs this franchise like dog shit and continues to.
Yeah.
So caring has no bearing at all on the job you do or the way the franchise goes, unless you're a smart kid that, like, really enjoys the business. It seems like he does that.
Well,
but man, I mean, this is like several years down the line here.
It is, but that's the beauty of it. Like all these people talk all this shit about Howie Roseman, right? And they were saying, oh, he's not a football guy. He's working in these front offices, and he comes up the ladder. That's what he did. He became a football guy. He was outside. He becomes a member of the front office, learns all that stuff to do the job, does it really damn well. Okay, so Julian Lurie's doing the same thing. Yes, I'm not cheering him because he's part of the family. I'm cheering him because he's part of the family, and he's trying to learn the actual sides of the business. And Lurie's trying to teach him that shit.
If my father owns a landscaping business and I need to learn every aspect of it and can gain more knowledge because he started from the ground up, and he can go, hey, don't do this shit, that's not anything different than a family business.
Responsible. I mean, you're so devaluing an owner. I mean, look at Washington. Let's talk about Washington for a minute.
Okay.
To act like this doesn't matter and owners don't matter, they have no bearing on anything is crazy because look at Washington.
No. Owners matter.
So
the
then how do they
bearing of
matter?
them matters. Julian Cantor. I just said Julian Cantor because he's in our Discord. I know that's his real name. Hi, buddy.
Shout out Kyle Phillips.
But Julian has no bearing on who he is as an owner. It will have no bearing on, like, because
Why not?
he supposedly cares today. It has no.
Why doesn't that help him?
it doesn't help me get excited about the Eagles are in good hands. He could Leonard Toes this thing and still sneak them out in the middle of the night if he felt like it and take them to St. Louis. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know where football's going to be by the time he owns the team. Like, I'm just surprised that you're even considering being excited by this news. To me, I just look at it and go, oh, that's interesting. He's ready to yep, Jeffrey Lurie is 70 years old. He probably doesn't want to do this shit anymore. He's made his money. He's made his Oscars. He's got a Super Bowl. That's a very interesting EGOT. I don't know if that exists. Like, how do you get can you produce an album? Can you win a Super Bowl? Has anyone gotten that? Because, like, maybe he's done. That's all he wants to chase. He's got the other side of the business to worry about. So I congratulations on Julian being rich.
Yeah,
there you go, Vince Quinn.
I think you're so wrong. I mean, what gets you excited about an owner? Does it matter at all to you?
No.
How does it?
Nope.
How?
Nope.
How?
The Sixers did it, and I didn't care.
Okay, well then, when they change all these different people in management, because the league comes them in willy-nilly, it's just like, hey, you're going to get rid of Sam Hinkie now. Oh, here's Brian Colangelo, and then that fucks up, and then Elton Brand takes over, and that fucks
and
up.
I never
and
trusted.
Where are they now?
And I never trusted that ownership group ever again.
Okay,
and I never
so
will.
You do have ownership groups that you've trusted.
I mean, like, in terms of how far I can throw them, yes. Like,
yes.
It's a prime example. I trust Jeffrey Lurie to do the right thing for this organization, no matter if we disagree on the actual football operations part of it from a year-to-year basis.
Yeah.
I know they're trying. They have done their best to create the best model possible for why we have A.J. Brown today. Yes.
Okay.
They've proven it over and over again, and we set their fucking feet to the fire when they don't and bully them to do it.
Okay.
That's our job.
That is
and
our
it
job.
should be a principle in the country too, but that doesn't happen. That's a whole other podcast. But I feel as though we don't do that at all. We just and that is a luxury of having a good owner here because he corrects pretty quickly.
Okay.
Unlike John Middleton, who's an idiot and will spend his fortune on perception, and that's pretty much it. So.
Yeah, so having a good owner is a valuable thing, and he's got the opportunity to learn from his dad, who is a good owner, and he's participating in all of this.
I feel like Peter Schrager just joined the show too.
What is the downside?
I
look at this and I go, okay, there's so many people. When you put an NFL franchise up for ownership in the modern day, you spin the wheel. You have no idea who the fuck it's going to be.
Okay, here, perfect example. Here's what I would love. Here's what I get excited about.
Okay,
Jeffrey Lurie has a contingency plan for Questlove to buy the Philadelphia Eagles with the help and guidance of Julian Lurie to guide him on the the executive side. Great. Now I'm fucking excited because Questlove owns the goddamn Philadelphia Eagles, and that's cool.
That's cool.
And I know
that's just cool. What does that mean?
It hits all the parameters.
What parameters?
He's from here. He definitely cares.
Okay.
He's already won an Oscar. Get him a Super Bowl ring and get him in the game too. I want somebody that's an icon from Philadelphia to take over the team. That's somebody we love.
Okay.
That we should decide who the next owner is if that was ever a thing. That's what I would do.
We're gonna have a big Democratic election then, and I'm gonna run for owner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
Okay, we're the Green Bay Packers now. Do you want shareholder stakes?
You gotta have the money and the bread, but I'm just saying, like, hey, these are the people that are willing to buy.
All right, yeah. What's Meek Mill up to?
Exactly.
So just because someone's a celebrity now, you're excited about them as an owner, but not somebody who actually is involved in the running of the team.
I'm trying to make it so you're making it so like, hey, these owners have to care. So.
Yes.
More than likely, a local representative from Philadelphia must be one of the next candidates that the city decides on.
Oh, my God. Yes. I have a hard time hearing you because there's a hoagie in your mouth. Like come on, man. Come on. To be able to learn front and center from a well-run front office and a well-run ownership group is a great place to be. I mean, if you're thinking of the best parameters you can, well,
you're excited about what the Cowboys did with their family functions, and now you want to do the same here.
If his son, Stephen Jones, is actually going, oh, well, Jerry screwed this up and screwed that up, and hey, by the way, waving the draft board at people is bad. If he's going to actually learn from the mistakes, then yeah, I mean, he's been in that front office for like 25 years. So people know at this point whether or not he's capable, and you'll figure it out. But for Julian to get that opportunity, and this is the other end of the road. Let's say maybe he does suck at the job. Maybe he's not any good at it.
Right.
Harvard educated. I don't care about that. I don't care where you went to school. It's are you smart or not, or are you smart? Are you willing to adapt? All those different kinds of things. So if he's bad at the job, is Lurie willing to say, yes, you're an owner, but in terms of your management of things, trusting your management more and instilling those qualities. Like, he's dealt with these times where we talk about him over-infringing. Now maybe it seems that he's stepping back and it's King Howie again. Like, figuring out all of that balance is important.
Son, I've got some valuable lessons for you. Do whatever Howie says.
Sure.
That's it.
If that's what it is, he goes, here's the business side of things. Here's how you're a representative. Here's how you talk to the media. Here's how you let your people manage their stuff. And here's when you cut bait. Fine. But it's if you're going to think of an environment for somebody to take over, this is a very good environment to be in. And I think that matters. I mean, would you rather have him be in Washington right now? If we were Washington fans, and this is Dan Snyder's kid, and he's coming up with every scandal imaginable.
I would root for Dan Snyder's kid to continue to be the owner of that team for life. That's like the Bundy curse.
Here,
absolutely.
Yes, here. But if you were there, as they're going to build
down there.
Yes. If we were Washington fans, which goes down by the day, and if you didn't see this story, folks, Washington is proposing the smallest stadium in the NFL right now in their rebuild because nobody gives a fuck about that team. They've lost the fan base. They're running competently. They lie to their fans. They have to take seats out of the stadium. They're going from a 91,000 seat stadium when they built RFK or FedEx or whatever the fuck. When they built that thing, it went from FedEx. It went for the RFK was the old one. It's a rust heap that sits there in the city for no reason.
Yes.
So they're going from 91,000 seats to 55 in the proposal in 25 years. I mean, that is a devastating decline for a franchise that can't win anything, doesn't go anywhere, hasn't won shit. That's ownership. I think circumstances matter for this. You hope for the best case scenario. If you put it out there for some owner to buy it, is it a Josh Harris situation again where a venture capital fund comes in and buys it? I don't want that. I don't want that. Like I
listen, man, it's all going to be crypto.com stadiums. I don't like.
Well, it depends on who you talk to about that. It's crypto and NFTs and whatever. Good luck with all of it. But yeah, I think it's as far as these things can go. He seems like a kid that has a genuine interest in doing a good job. He's trying to learn everything as much as he can. He has the ability to do it, and he's done that from the jump. As soon as he gets out of college, he's going into that NFL program where they rotate you around the league office, and you get to work with all these different people in different departments and learn the business. He's seeing it from the league side. He's seeing it internally. He's involved in coaching searches. That's great. I mean, people would die for that experience, whether you're a business owner on the
100%.
outside coming in or somebody that's internal and getting to grow. So looking at signs and looking at the value of an owner and how it can sink a franchise for forever. Al Davis, as much as he was great in the back end of his years, he was the reason they didn't win. You know, it's ownership matters. And I think looking at this and just laughing it off is wrong.
Because Vince is saying congratulations to Jeffrey Lurie's balls. And like get
out of here.
Congrats for having a kid. And guess what? If my mom was named Lori Laughlin, I would probably have a Yale education at least paid for in print.
Yeah, which I'm not congratulating for a Harvard kid. I'm saying to the kid to have his own initiative.
That education could have been paid for, and they could have been fucking off for 4 years. It means nothing. They have enough money to make anybody look like Yale, Harvard Business School ready.
Okay, and if this kid fucks up, then crush him, and everybody will, right? If he's in there and he's in the building and he's fucking around, he's not taking it seriously, we're gonna know. Jeff McClain will tell us. Okay, I believe in Jeff McClain. He is the Dark Knight. He is the hero that nobody wants. What's that?
Because you are him.
Never seen you and him in the same room.
That's true. Call me Jeff. But yeah, we're going to know about all that stuff. So if he starts fucking everything up, then yes, it's the nepotist and he doesn't deserve any credit. But for now, everything that I've seen is he's not doing anything stupid. He's not getting arrested for DUIs and being a fuckhead.
He just got
He's
hired.
27. He's an adult. Like, I'm just saying he hasn't been a fuck up and he's taking it seriously. As far as you can ask for these things to go, I've gotten all good indications and I'm hoping for the best. It's the owner of the team. It means everything. And it means nothing is fundamentally wrong.
As long as the ownership stays out of the way of the operations side of the football department, nothing will matter in the long run.
Yeah, which
that's what I will always keep coming back to. But to that point, like with Dan Snyder and with what's going on in Washington, I mean, Jesus. First of all, they're about to go through a whole congressional hearing.
Yep.
And they're going to their third stadium, which you just pointed out is going to be about 40,000 less fans to fill that thing.
40,000!
Which is just another reason, by the way, to come with us to Washington. As congratulations, by the way, to everybody on the text line that signed up at 215-509-5833. We are still waiting for 100% confirmation from our winner that they can go. And just go to phillysportstrips.com right now to book your ticket to Washington, as our goal is to get 1,000 fans down there to yell at Dan Snyder and tell him how bad his stupid FedEx Fields really does suck. And no matter how many times that he tries to rework that thing, whether it's 90 or 55,000 or whatever it is, just know that it's Lincoln Financial South. It will remain that for as long as possible. And incredible response so far. Vince has told us there has been a record number of signups for this trip alone this early, too. So that is all credit to you. Can't thank you enough for your support. Let them know that you're going with Bell and the Birdmen and or our friends over at You Know Ball so they can group us together. We're still trying to put together a big VIP big bus to head down there so we can all stream and do some fun things. But can't wait for week one, as we're going to kick it off in Detroit. We're going to head to Washington and everywhere else. Plus, coming up in August, I mean, Dick Vermeil getting enshrined to the Hall of Fame, and we're going to go and check that out as well. So head to Philly Sports Trips phillysportstrips.com right now. Book your trip with us for any Eagles trip that you want to go on this year. Plus, if you want to commiserate with the Phillies, boy, it's a fun trip to go up to New York and watch them play against the Mets. But it's not fun to watch baseball, at least on this podcast. But if you are a big baseball fan, the trips are incredible, and I would just go just for the party atmosphere alone.
That's what I want to do.
Yes.
I just want to see ballparks and walk around and eat the food and kind of have the game in the background. I love that about baseball.
And yeah, it's the only thing we love about baseball.
It is. It really is. That's it.
Was there anything crazy in that Snyder realization too in that proposal, or anything more?
So in the stadium itself, there's not anything too crazy. A part of it is going to be that stadium might be like 45 minutes outside of D.C. in Virginia. So tax dollars and who's going to pony up, which D.C. doesn't want to because this guy's a crook, and they're trying to bring him in for investigation. So yeah, they're not going to give him tax dollars. So the team's going to move out of D.C. most likely a good bit, and they're going to build a little rinky-dink stadium because nobody likes them anymore. So that's where it's going. But and here's where it gets interesting too, because Congress did ask Dan Snyder to go and testify about all the stuff that happened in October. This is all the complaints about all the different women. I know there's been multiple scandals and it's hard to keep up, but the October one is about all these different women and workplace harassment, and he's being called to it. Roger Goodell's being called to it as well, because basically they had an investigation and the league was like, yeah, don't publish your findings or anything that we should really do about this. So that went well. And now Congress wants to speak to him as well, which is another reason why Dan Snyder might be out as owner and why your owner matters. Can I get to another thing, by the way?
Don't be Dan Snyder, everybody. Yeah, that's
for the love
of
God. Check yourself.
What's the other thing that was on that docket?
There is a thing that's bothering me. It's a concept that's bothering me, and I got to get this out. But cutting Isaac Seumalo is fucking ridiculous.
Oh boy,
the idea
swinging for Mike K already.
Yes,
Jesus,
I mean the suggestion. I like Mike K. So Mike K. comes out with the report that, or I don't even know if it's a report as much as speculation that he could get cut. The idea being Seumalo, they could save $5 million by cutting him. So that's what Mike's talking about. It's a possibility. Should they do it? Absolutely not. I mean, if you believe this team is worth anything, how on God's green earth can you justify cutting an offensive lineman?
Because you just drafted one in the second round.
So?
And you drafted one in the second round the year before then, too.
Okay.
As a guard. And they're both there to play guard. And one's a starting.
Yes.
And one just got drafted, so we have no idea. We haven't been through training camp yet.
But he's also never played guard before. And Seumalo's played center. He's played guard. He's played tackle.
If you're a center, you're a guard. If you're a guard, you're a center. It's pretty much how it goes. That's it. You're either great at snapping the ball or okay at it. And if you're okay at it, you're a guard. Isaac Seumalo was a center. He transferred from a guard. They tried to make him the heir apparent. They realized that they couldn't do that, and that his best value overall is probably a backup. Hence why, the last few drafts as well. I know Jason Kelce loves him, so that's one thing that I'd probably say, well, I don't know if they'd outright cut him. I would say they would need him this year, but I wouldn't be pissed if they just
I would be
ended
pissed.
up. I think he's a great trade piece right now in training camp to do a 1-for-1 on something if you're looking to do that.
I mean, if you're getting offered a third-round pick, I consider it. But if you're trying to go, and if we think this is a team that can go deep, and for what you've said, conference championship, Super Bowl, if that is the high-end expectation of this team that they actually have a shot, why get rid of line depth when the team is built? Eat the money. It's Howie Roseman. Who cares about $5 million? Are we really going to worry about $5 million with this guy, with this team? For what?
Well, you might need it. You're
for
talking about
what?
Super Bowl runs and whatever. Like, you just might not have enough cap space to fit in this year that you can't quite kick down the road. Or, like, if you restructure too many contracts, like, on a run, yeah, you're gonna
Salt and pepper, John. Push it real good. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Money does not matter for this team.
Yes, it does.
Right
it
now,
absolutely
no,
does
it
right
doesn't.
now. It absolutely does. If I can get $5 million to get me a better skill player on either side of the football, I'm going to take that. If I can go get a safety, which, hey, Mr. Kyle Hamilton, after all this, you're really going to bitch about a backup guard you have to cut because it allows you to go trade for a premier safety or another wide receiver or a pass rusher or whatever's there to fit that big fat contract that you're going to have on a run. I would rather not worry about a backup at the position, especially when you have Driscoll here, especially when you have Cam here. You have Dickerson, who can do literally what you just said and play every position.
But you don't want to move him.
And cheaper. No, but like, I'd feel way more comfortable if he was doing it versus Seumalo. Dickerson can actually play center as opposed to Seumalo, who cannot. He can't.
Well,
so
no,
there's not a
but
lot of value there.
That's Juergens, right? Like, Juergens is supposed to be that guy. Are they going to cross-train him? Maybe, but if he's the heir apparent.
They have to.
I mean,
yeah.
but how much of the emphasis is going to be there, and how good is he? It's going to be different. And when you think about it, like, Driscoll's been injured. He missed time last year. You had Sua Opeta playing for a little bit. Do I trust him in that role? Like, Seumalo is a starting Seumalo's a starting caliber player. He's had injury problems. That's his only issue.
Did you think about him at all last year?
Seumalo, he was out since week 3.
Right.
But they cycled through all these different guys. Herbig is gone. If Nate, so I think they made their choice already. Like, that's why I wouldn't get rid of it. If Nate Herbig was on this team right now, I'd be fine with cutting Seumalo. But for them to look at this right now and go, okay, we have the choice. You got to figure how he has that conversation. Would I rather get rid of Isaac and save 5, or get rid of Herbig and just keep the better player?
Well, let me say
part
this,
of it is
brother.
I think the decision's been made.
Yeah,
I think it's been made. I wouldn't cut him.
It was made 2 years ago. I mean, like, you look at it the same way I do, where they drafted dramatically different, including their offensive line people, like, in the last 2 years. And it was about speed, where Seumalo is about brick building. And, like, Cam Juergens can move for a guy really well for his size, incredibly athletic, all that stuff. So the scheme has completely changed from when they envisioned Isaac Seumalo taking over with Jason Kelsey. I still think that was that still Chip Kelly, or was that Doug?
Seumalo was, oh, God.
I think Seumalo was drafted as a Chip, the last Chip Kelly.
2015?
2015, 16, somewhere around there?
Yeah.
So, like,
because he got extended, I think, in 19 as a 3-year deal.
He's
how
now
that went.
2 head coaches ago, essentially. And now you have this brand new guy. Gannon's changing everything on that side. They've reshaped that. I don't think anyone should be surprised if anyone that was drafted before Nick Sirianni got here is like, they might cut him. Like, hey, this guy was really valuable. How valuable was he? How valuable was he if he's been gone since week 3 and no one really thought about him? But like, oh, no, he was a really great piece, and Jason Kelsey cried when he went down, and I'm sure he's an amazing person in that locker room. So I get that, but
yeah, the quality of the depth they've had has
fine.
been amazing, but it's changed, right? Last year, Brandon Brooks was a starter. So it was Seumalo with the one guard, Brandon Brooks on the other side. You don't have Brandon Brooks. So what happens? Dickerson gets a shot, Seumalo goes over. Okay, well, Seumalo goes down. So then here comes Driscoll. Here comes Sua Opeta. Here comes Nate Herbig. Like, all those guys rotated in. But again, Herbig is gone, and Brooks is gone. So why get rid of all this depth? Like, I don't understand any inkling to go and just push this guy out unless you have a deal that's imminent. Like, if they have to cut him for some reason to get Jesse Bates, I mean, I fine, but I'm not just cutting him to cut him. Unless you have a move that needs to be made, keep him on the roster, have him week 1, make a move to the deadline, and live your life. Line depth matters. We've been lucky, too, because here's the thing with the last couple of seasons. This team has been healthy the last couple of years. That is an anomaly of God that they have not been just horrifically injured all across the board.
Yeah.
Because remember, 18, everybody's hurt. 19, everybody's hurt. Like, that stuff happens. So keep the depth, keep this veteran guy. He's played multiple spots. He is a starting caliber player, and let him compete with Driscoll. Like, I don't think it's a given that he's not a starter. Why not have him and Driscoll compete? Is Driscoll that like? I was a Driscoll guy last year. I talked about him all the goddamn time. But am I going to just hand him the job? I think that's a great camp competition.
Difference. There's no difference there, and Driscoll's not playing for. I mean, yeah, I guess he'd be competing for the job at that point with Cam or whoever, or maybe that is Suo Peta over there. I have no idea.
And I think he's played some tackle. So then, okay, well now you've got that flexibility where Driscoll is your backup guard and he can play some tackle. Like the versatility is there. Dillard's your left tackle, and then Driscoll can play the right.
Well,
so
and what can Isaac Seumalo not do? He can't play tackle at all. He's not a swing guy.
I don't know. I heard he can do a Rubik's Cube. He's probably capable of everything, is in my book. But
he's got great push-up technique.
Yeah, I bet. I bet he does. Got great hair. I'll give him that. His hair's awesome.
He paints very well, I hear. So that's good.
So
abstract artist. You don't see those too often
he's
anymore.
He's a talent. But yeah, it's like in a city where we are so obsessed with offensive linemen, to look at the idea of a guy that's 28 years old. He's been with this team his whole career. He plays pretty well when he's healthy, and he's 28. I don't get the rush or the idea of like, yeah, let's just get rid of this guy when we think we can win 12 games.
Because he's not that good. He was part of the Super Bowl team. You have some nostalgia attached to him. He's not even a starter. He's a fringe starter.
In the NFL, he's a starter.
I think he is exactly like Halapaluli Valivitai. Like, it's just the same kind of. It's the. How do I get that right and not like, you know?
Well, you didn't.
Oh,
yeah.
See, good.
Yeah, it was close. It's
Halaputi Vali. No. Big V.
Halapulivati Vaitai.
There you go.
There we go.
Big V. I look at him in the same, like, I think Seumalo is better at his position and being able to handle that swing, but like not much better. He is of that same type of caliber. He is Ryan Kelly. He is
Matt Pryor was the other guy a couple of years ago that did a similar thing.
Way better than Matt Pryor. Yes. I'll give him that.
So he's a better version of that. But yeah, I think they like if I'm looking at it, I think Roseman already made the choice. It came down to keeping Herbig or keeping Seumalo, and he decided to go with Seumalo. So I would not cut him. Again, it's just the line depth, the ability. That's what carried the team last year. If not for the offensive line and all the depth.
All this time, this guy has been standing next to me yelling like how I can't love Tyler Linderbaum. He's saying exactly that Jeff Stoutland creates, diamonds out of freaking charcoal. And that's all you have to do at the backup position. You don't need to be like, where can Isaac Seumalo go from where he's at? Like, I'm sure he can learn more. That's just naturally progressive for any player's
Julian
career.
Lurie.
He's peaked. He's just peaked. Like, I'm fine if it's for something else. Yes, if it's just cut him to save $5 million, I'd lean towards more your side. But I'd be. You know what I'm more pissed about than Isaac Seumalo possibly getting cut? Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, okay. I just want to get this out there because I know it's been like a large week of this stuff, and it's incredibly hot, which is why like I'm sweating profusely. I'm an idiot and like wearing an oversized shirt. I'm this Liquid Death makes sure that I am nice and chill and cool, and I get those nostalgic feelings of wanting to go back into the theater. I'm rarely a theater guy, too. So, like, I love the experience of it. I'm just, like, over it, just like everybody else is for the most part, and we keep trying to hold on to this. But, like, can somebody tell me what 97% Rotten Tomatoes certified movie everybody was watching? Because that basically was 45 minutes or so of Miles Teller and Tom Cruise fighting over the screen friendly and nicely, but like Tom being like, hey, this is my fucking movie, and completely miss. Like, it's called Top Gun Maverick, right? Maverick was a cocky son of a bitch, fly by the seat of his pants type of guy, right?
Yeah.
They completely eliminate that in this movie in the first like 30 minutes of it. He's like, there's no sport. I promise you, I'm not. This is just my perspective of it. But it made them feel like this guy that we loved in the '80s is a fucking loser now, and it's just like the. So how can like I don't know. There's just so many opportunities to turn this thing into like a really nice, great thing, and everybody was so over the top on. It looked enough like Mission Impossible. The planes were cool enough, and that was fine by me. And like completely was wondering why. I wonder why there wasn't any good one-liners in this, because the writing was fucking terrible. It was awful. It was the worst, one of the worst experiences I've had in a theater. Like, I was just like, how am I the only one in America that doesn't like Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people tweet positive things about it. I have no interest still in seeing that movie. None. I really don't.
Foreign press got paid off. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
Somebody help me out there. Somebody that saw that movie believes that Tom Cruise got neutered, and the whole franchise. Like everyone saying, "Oh, you had too many expectations, John. You're holding on to the original." That was the point of you saying it's better than the first one. Anyway,
Who said that?
everyone.
No,
Everyone kept saying that on opening
it's
weekend.
better than the original.
It's so good. I saw it twice. It was better than the original. Like
Yeah.
old people, young people, everyone said, "Oh my God, it's the best thing in the world."
Yeah, I had someone say that to me this morning.
yeah,
But I didn't think the first movie was any good.
It's good because it's
because it's
unintentionally
bad.
cheesy.
Yes.
Like
It's
and just like
ironically good.
it's not ironically good. It's just good. It's a good movie.
Nah, it's okay.
It doesn't mean that it like has to have like a buttoned up script. It's an action film. It has this is why we're doing this and this is where we hope we end up. This movie didn't do that at all. It didn't even tell them who they were fighting. They were just like, here are these people in the mountains. Who are they? I don't know. But they've got some nuclear shit. That was it.
That's it.
Were there macho gay undertones still?
Not enough of it.
Ooh.
Not enough of it, in my opinion. Yeah. They and it was just they replicated the volleyball scene with football.
Okay.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah, it's corny.
That's all. I'm just saying, rent it. It's okay to rent.
Now, if Julian was there during the football scene.
Yeah. Then it would be.
Oh, that
Then
works.
I would be excited because,
I'd be sweating.
the Tom or the Top Gun franchise would be in good hands.
That's right. If he was the director's son and he learned how to direct movies, I'd
That's
be
right.
okay with that.
Anything else we want to add to this wonderfully hot summer, beautiful episode of Bell and the Birdmen here, Vince?
No, I am sweaty. I think I'm good.
Very sweaty out here today. We do want to plug one quick other thing is the fine folks over at Awesome Sauce who we have just gotten to know a little bit over the spring and summer are on a reality show right now. And if you go to awesomesauce.co, AWSM sauce.co, you will learn about everything that's going on. But they're on the show called $1 Billion Idea that airs on Tuesdays at
9 o'clock.
9 p.m.
9.
on Fox Business, which
Yes.
I didn't even realize they were doing reality shows over there. So great for them. And they are kicking ass currently and taking names and doing rewatches of all that stuff. So if you really want to get to know Awesome Sauce, they're literally in a competition right now and reacting to themselves with a lot of awkward and fun moments as well. Been really enjoying the process.
Yeah, it's really funny. The guys' chemistry is hilarious. I mean, they just get along so well. And seeing them giving honest feedback of watching themselves on television, it's just the whole thing's surreal.
Yes.
Honestly, it's really cool. So we've been here having a great time with it.
So go check them out once again. And if you can't remember any of that stuff, don't worry. BellAndTheBirdmen.com. All of the people that we are partnered up with there that helps this fine podcast run is all there, including our friends over at Liquid Death, liquiddeath.com/bell to get your case sent to you for free. Not the case, but shipped to you for free, as free shipping on all that on every single time. And again, thank you to PhillySportsTrips.com for, taking us around the country this year. And especially to get it to hang with you guys for every single Eagles game. Very excited for that. So book your trip today, PhillySportsTrips.com/trips to see everything that they have going on there. I am going to go run into the parking lot and jump into a pool for Taylor Credatis. That is Vince Quinn. I'm John Barchard, and that is our flickering light right here on Bell and the Birdmen. We'll see you guys. Okay, bye.